I promise this party that I'm going to do a diligent job and make sure we win 2024 election. As a member of parliament for the past 23 years, I have to admit that the challenge of the government and the successive government had been unemployment. And therefore, I've taken it upon myself to make sure I reduce unemployment rate in this country. One person cannot say that he's the most intelligent person on earth. And therefore, we should bring everybody on board. If you want to make changes in this country, you should first engage the people. Let them know why we need to change. And that will come from the nation.
So for me, I feel even on that basis, the government erred. They should have removed her on the basis of her administrative capacity, administrative role as a CJ. And so one person saying as a justice of the Supreme Court, then still come on Article 146 and then forward her petition to the acting CJ now. And the acting CJ now will then find a prima facie case, and based on that prima facie case, establish that committee now. Article 146 require we are no more the finance are better as culpable as the CJ. Then he forwards to the president, and the president will then be bound to remove her also as a justice of the Superior Court. And to me, I believe she has a case, but as they say, almost say your court system, no, almost say your judiciary system, no. Unfortunately, they've weakened it so much. They've reduced the head of the judiciary, not even the CJ. They reduced the head of the judiciary to just a basic and random appointee of the president. And MPP for any woman, but TV is almost oh, yes, you're about a being a fro. Adjubrel. How, why are we so hasty to destroy our own country? Why are we so hasty to destroy our own country? Are the enemies of Mahama, any enemies of Osel Mino? Any enemies were weakening the judiciary, it has economic implications, it has safety implications, it has a foreign policy implication. We are saying, be a Hesadia, and then you look into his face and say, yes, you're by baby. No, I don't think Ken Agyapong will do that. We have to restore the order. Not the end and can't say we look into Ghanaians' faces and say, as I see and we are not going to repeat the same. Okay. I don't agree with that slash and burn politics. Okay. Say, and this Baba Adia Anthony say, now we are going to repeat the same. Then you're going to
all right. Ora kwesi kwating lawyer and no AD and common FA issues happening within a country ni abobo bia so an kasisia no yera the campaign the MPP primaries no hon common nearby this is in regards to what currently happening with Ora Ken Agyapong ne campaign no, and then we'll pick some few other matters and then we'll discuss that. But first off, this overview, how is the campaign going? It's the same.
Ken Agyapong is winning. God willing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Ken will win. Ken will win.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Ken will win. Sure. Me first, now my family phone say, of course, we don't run campaign on social media, but it's a model that you can also use to determine the mood of people and how people are appreciating issue. Until I've called people, about 10 people randomly, and asked them, say, is it because I support Ken and I push Ken matter so much? It appears that an algorithm is so programmed. Say, Ubiofubia, Ken. Me TikTok, I have an account there, but minimum. Almost all call Honswa, sir. Almost all call Twitter, sir. Almost all call baby, sir. And the mood of the nation is so ripe for Ken. Now, with nano abysmal performance here, show ye, me sure say there is going to be a reward for any second chance. There is not going to be a reward for second chance. Where party for them, I mean, let's face the reality. NDC has having conversations. Say, President Mahama is coming from the northern part of the country. Into a free while, but then say one more may also repeat a candidate coming from the northern part of the country. So by way of strategy, one more cry adjust you. So how much more? Yeah. What I say, and now politics have always insisted. Politics is a game of strategy. Nobody goes into a war with the weaker foot. And no, I'm a try DB or social media, and I'm a post to you. Because people should be bold to vote on religious and
come on, I read it yesterday.
I like controversial stuff.
Yes.
And not necessarily controversial, but you see, these are a normal. If you interview the majority of people in their own closet, and there will be a commercial, but it's not something that they can discuss. But I think there can be a polite and holistic way we can still address this and have a conversation, about it.
So.
Ken has started his campaign. Why Western North?
Okay.
Why Bono? Why Bono East? Why Ahafo? Why Bono East? I am so much confident that these 4 regions Hawaiian he will win. Maybe I may say yentimi mama che na nkosto bebre kese pa the Bono East. The Bono East in so no o hwe fiti kentamponi ade nso kona yenuano so almost free the northern part of the country bebre so ho. And ade ba kwa Dr. Bawumia team has been able to do so well so far as this campaign is concerned has been their northern solidarity in MPP, not in Ghana. When it comes to in Ghana, they always the popularity no from, but in MPP, you know, I think say one more team as solidarize on base. But we are also going there to also campaign. In the say be free on Kwana and for so no, we've watered out the impact. So I'm exceedingly confident. Now second, when we near Namasum Krogu Ghana how I saw for baby. Any moon comes say baby. Baby about 90% we don't even know them. Me apart from also for Bernarda. I know him personally. I visited his church. I have a relationship with him. Say me papa say madam for no. About 90% of all most can come in. Indeed, a Christopher for Kwan Phantom with him. Second, we know what Bambugu and Yamasom. So Biana K. As so far as I'm come 100. Now, the second Yakupon and animal was you. But which Namiso and him to me at the aim was it?
Because I also saw my infographics be flying. Say, Ken Agyapong sets up anti-election. Reagan squad.
Yes.
Is it true?
Yes.
I don't know about setting up anti.
Brief. First of all, the anti-Reagan elections team or squad or initiative is not only to protect Ken Agyapong's votes. One is to make sure say Dr. Brian Champong votes or be. Two is to make sure say votes are Dr. Bawumia and the votes per paper. And open Jojo Rockin, Mabaso. Again, is to make sure, say, me and Papa Dr. L said that you vote to Benyan will count the same vote for him.
No, Obias, Reagan election.
Ken Agyapong also vote to Benyan. But more example, you got 2 last election, last prime minister, who said Dr. Bawumia 100%, 99.3%, almost 100%.
Yes.
One more, you to about in November, prime minister to nothing November 4th. You to about between November to the next prime minister to parliamentary prime minister was just December and them. You a very key analysis na me you. One more 2 years, Dr. Bawumia ba contest be Lucia. The same constituency. Olusu ya no onzo court na case okoye. O se sa bom na e de to ya Dr. Bawumia nya 100%. Sa bom no enipa na e wu mu 4 eto sa bana one mo to ya Olusu parliamentary. Between December no enipa na no in December no 9 bom wu sa. Na over the period even before November 9th. Yes, so they recorded 100%. Say one more everybody in the album went to vote. And everybody also voted for him. So our case is that we are making a very strong case for the sanity of elections in the MPP. We want to restore confidence in the MPP.
But the party has restored confidence already by saying, we are making.
But what is illegal about?
It's not illegal, but I say, oh yes, sir. Maybe sir, are you not creating? I mean, something beyond top as what say, oh, and kind of obi area into me, obi wiame. Into this time, when indeed you know, say the party in itself.
The person can say. You cried Dr. Bawumia the person born home.
What's mama?
The votes will me, I don't see him getting more than 31% in this election, and we want to protect him. Say the votes will be no. Yeah, man, say when you say what say we are Dr. Bawumia 31%. If you are votes, if your man kind enough could be champo. Now if we were not Dr. Bawumia, we could be paid not number 12%. So on no cramp near Yamano. We want to protect everybody, the sanctity of the process, so that everybody's vote will be counted for him. We said I'm not doing the same quite. One for if you had 7 votes, we'll count the 7 votes for you. If Dr. Luchum 100 votes, we count 100 votes a man. If Dr. Brian Champong 20, we count 20 votes a man. The Ken Agyapong 1,000 votes, we count 1,000 a man. That's all we want to do. So we are only building a system that will ensure the sanctity and integrity of the electoral process. And that includes everything.
Okay, maybe.
That includes everything.
You and your campaign team, do you trust the party to do a good job during the elections?
Yeah, but no, I mean, even if you trust somebody, does not necessarily mean that you also not take care of yourself. What I say? The fact that you trust some of our I don't know. You may trust your partner, but I don't just say you won't take care of yourself. You also have to take care of yourself. And I don't think it's so much of a rebellious mindset. No, it's not really a rebellious mindset, but it has more to do with deepening the integrity of the process. What the party is doing, we are also committing to it much. If the party wants to ensure a clean and fair process, why can't we also put mechanisms to ensure and help the party to achieve that?
Because more doubt, Anna.
No, what we want to do is to create a situation where we protect the votes to the extent that the sanctity and the integrity of the process will be upheld. And I am very confident. Say it to me, yes, Adana, Ken Agyapong will win more than 60%. I'm very confident. Say it to me, yes, Adana, Ken Agyapong will win more than 60%. I mean, you shouldn't be rebel, but you should always think beyond good. That is not being doubtful. No, that's not being doubtful. That essentially means that you are prepared and you are willing to say that you are letting people's vote count. When people started let your vote count. Now let your vote count. The corner let's say to me. That the primary. We can't let people's vote count. People's vote will be counted.
Okay, so this is not the first time Mako election, presidential elections. You had issues with a previous one, right?
Oh, you mean Ken Agyapong?
Yes, Ken Agyapong.
Yeah, we're not satisfied with the whole process.
Okay.
It's natural.
And one of the major ones was about the counting.
Oh, not necessarily. You see why I'm a bit evasive about this, because you see, I mean, it's a matter of strategy. You can't go into the details of it. Yeah, they name the yehu, and they name the ate, and they name the suya yes.
The nan one semunti.
The American say they name the yehu, they name the ate, yes, the American. We have learned, and we have also learned as part of a normal yes. One of them is to also learn in a way a bit more protect the sanctity and the integrity of the electoral process. It's not really about Ken. It's about what the grassroots want. The party for near the EP, their self for near the EP, and they will GDS to say, "Yeah, myself for no, their votes matters. Let their voices be heard." Because I say for no take Ghana for Ghana for say the Ken bomb where the Omobeto, and to watch now one here, maybe I say for no Ken, maybe even I mean sometimes may not even be. Share that, but sometimes it may be an arithmetic error, administrative error. You call Supreme Court, much about comes a clerical error. It be a daughter Bawumia 17 over here near the 1 question and 9,117. The votes of the people have not been counted. It does not reflect their intentions, and that is why we want to protect it.
It is a bandit also say be a Kenya 17, but to be near the end of 117. Saying
why not? Why not? If that's what I'm saying, that we want to ensure that vote will be a benyano. Only pakonya vote na. That's all. Any big deal, baby. I'm saying, you better say that mention. And the question first, I said, will be anywhere. Or then the strategy by the details of it, but the assurance I'm giving to every Ken member. One more Muabuchi and no more Mutie. My uncle back one for Kenya Monabaso. A movement for youth movement for Ken or more Canada. Opening Amako Francis or more or swatch up and for Kenya Monabaso. Yeah, more Munina Tifitabuchi for Besigana for say. If we are going to vote for Kenya, and you should cry because your vote will be counted. Intimidation bien who are bad ebebaho. Obien who so bit my bed ebehunu bia. Debi eno di enyejuma. Said now no ye kwato abana one rage back for 100%. Ye kwato general election dia. Akwe watchibidi.
Na ususu said the inti na sa.
No, but it should have reflected that the issue the 100% no, if indeed it was true and genuine, should have be populated. It should have been a sample. That gave an indication of how well the people were willing to accept him. But it can be say one more mokoya jumadi votes na ban 100% comes and vote for you. Then in the same polling stations you get 0. Nti adiwe wona esa akokwa na asem we wona oye Ken Agyapong ti mabetena ho. Say nipa no so okoto aba onya 100% e woni krom ni constituency in the region one obo 100%. Some nkofo no ko general election. Some of the polling stations omo koto your record 100%. Onya 0 ho.
Yeah, but the MPP for the two abano.
No, but MPP for the two abano.
National.
Yeah, MPP, yes, national. But the 5 saying the 5 polling station for no more Kotoma the prime is only 100%. No, so polling station be in nipa 5. Say nipa 5 no. One more the only MPP for keke. One more delegates. There's one also about general election point and the competitive and the straight MPP. Who names a MPP now go in and the whole in 0. Now to one me the asokwada no attention now. So the engagement. No, it won't work. We are 100% of polling station, but the same polling station, a general election down 0. One more to 100% no more here. Some people for no more to man no more here. And the other common to 3%, but you have 0. So why should you trust say that 100% now in organic? And I can be coincidence say you go to general election delegates a kotoma or 100% of polling station biar. This time no about 30 police station 0 no. E do election no munyina and no munyina yare.
Good morning. I am Okan from Bantama in the Senate West District. The next Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is Honorable Ken Agyapong because he certainly cuts a distinctive figure with his spoken bold and confident style. He fits for a leader who is unafraid to take a stand. He has introduced his vision to the good people of Senate West. He spoke as a businessman, not a politician. These are the key qualities that makes him a strong presidential candidate for the MPP. Let's get Ken connected. We Okan from Bantama or the Ebaye. Now, question maybe says the same way. There's this argument that your candidate seems to more or less attack Dr. Bawumia one way or the other. I don't know whether that perception keeps running or a reality on ground, Sana.
No, I need a basis for such comments.
Okay.
Or say a day and okay, attack on Dr. Bawumia. You see, let's face the fact. If you are going for election, certainly you mention your opponent's name. We are not contesting yourself. And then one way election now here, and there is a basis of comparison. Dr. Bawumia is a data person. He believes in data. And so when people questions the data on his own performance, I'm not sure that will be an attack. The campaign message can see a pie so see and because MPP will be a twasso or consistency, yes. Yeah. And that is he then made argument borrowing the history of the party and and the same history of the party, if you are looking at the true history of the party in that broader context from where the party was established from 92 till now, you realize that Obi Atwado to be has always been contingent on Nipano performance. How do we say it? How born how the born home. That has always been the contingent or the caveat or the. And if you go and say CM found to us now for now Akufo-Addo, no one for Dubois. I will remind you that this is the true history. One more home there.
But you're not the only candidate. There are a lot of candidates. Why would your
candidate be na?
Say you Dr. Brian or
no, but if I question you, so be uncle election. Dr. Dutu so be uncle election man perform poorly. It's only Dr. Bawumia no election perform poorly. In that basis, I don't think there's so wrong if I borrow the performance to make a case. Aside that, me just was Ken Agyapong now can be busy. And I think one also was in response to him say, Honorable Chairman Sabum, so I'm told so can say Ken Timin Cabral for now would no committee in the IMF near there but I could do and Ken responded by we are money. But you say I don't even think say person be the president of Ghana as I dream about in the IMF. And so we are not ready to come and perform. Because IMF is a hospital. Nobody goes to IMF or nobody goes to hospital, you are in a good condition. You go to hospital when you are not in a good condition. But if you are eating healthy, you are exercising, you are dieting so well, you are having rest, why do you even think of hospital in the first place? What I say?
Check up.
Check up is different from say in IMF, check up near you. Check up in this context will be going into the international market to go and seek investors.
Okay.
But now Okoji loan there. And no now here Okoji. It's the same thing. And Kenny says it will be it's even shallow thinking to even think of that even in the first place. Say but President Magana say, Okoji loan. We really the president that will create jobs for us. And I've always maintained that if you look at the first industrial evolution, second industrial evolution, third and fourth industrial evolution, we always at the consumption end as a country. And we need to go back to the basics and leapfrog. And that's why Ken talks about sort of the agriculture and tourism as his main focus or the best on mine. And of course, he also talks about decentralization. Oshe is a Greater Accra. Greater Accra is almost choked. Not even about the chokiness, but we also have to stimulate growth in the other parts of the country. So, for 24-hour economy, it's not artificial. It's not artificially generated. It's based on demand and supply. My more example, say from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Kumasi boss pa, the day of pa. It do Sunday numre na Kumasi go. Umar go be free. Yeah, kwa ye no be a bankai. Obi a free ko be oyede oye ne nyuma so literally it becomes a ghost city or ghost town. And that activity we nan we ye ko ye kesi. Wo the correct obi wo hobi wa. Obi akọ. What I say? So in order to make Kumasi more active, why can't we take about 2 or 3 ministries to Kumasi? Agencies in alcohol. Then if anybody who wants to transact then goes to Kumasi to go and transact. Why can't we take Ministry of Education to Central Region? Say how kind of schools in Ansasi. Anybody who wants to go and transact with the ministry and all these agencies, so that you have people moving across all the regions. Or qua are there some behind hotel at them? Or better you are Eddie. One so much so we pay a credit.
But I don't mind your cost too.
What say?
Oh, my cost.
No, but no more free time labor a crowd more your cost. Oh, say your cost. Obi free sunya back crowd, they be on your cost. Now, so free sunya kwa Santa Region, say no so no so ebeboano. So ministry be so Santa Region not now so far haka. Say I mean it's fair. And everything must not necessarily be Accra. Okay. So that is Ken's vision, the practical approach. And you'll be obedient, more ideas. And at the end of the day, I've always maintained say you need to be on the or what some supreme and mystical ideas. No, our problems are always the same. Our problems are systemic. Our solutions is not about ideas. Our solution has to do with pragmatic implementation. So, Galamsey, the ideas are the solve Galamsey. It's it's an implementation issue, and the implementation issue stems from the inability to enforce the regulations in your compliance. That's all. Ideas, documents. I don't even read them because I don't believe in them. At the end of the union, said the regulations are there. If there is an enforcement of the regulations, so it's an enforcement issue, and you need that leadership with that character trait to enforce, and not to be ideas.
May buy a year issue now reason, but there's a text message here for you. I just want to read it as it is. How hard or how strong or how low it is. I just want to read it to you clearly. Or say, I am Kelvin Kofi Guy from Japan, voter. Please ask the man at the studio to check his conscience and tell us if he truly believes that Ken is the best candidate to lead the MPP to win 2028 elections. I, Kofi Guy, believed that he is only following Ken for the cash because he himself knows very well that DMB is the only obvious choice. This is his message to you.
I mean, on the high side, I don't think I should even respond to him. For he's not even a delegate. Until let's move on.
Okay. You wrote an article. I just want to deal with that. For me, I think it's a very serious one that you've raised, that we should be bold to vote on tribal and religious lines if we have to.
Yes.
But see, as someone okay, is it not a dangerous precedent you are setting? Within and probably the larger elections ahead of us, 2028.
So it didn't come from a vacuum. It came from a certain context.
Okay.
And the context was, like I indicated, how the DMB they've done something so well when it comes to their political organization, which has to do with how our Motima mobilize the northern and even in extension, the Muslim caucus, Amano.
Okay.
And it's not just an argument of vacuum. It's on a basis, and there's evidence to that. Just about a month ago, the Northern Caucus of Parliament, they call themselves Northern Caucus. These are all MPs, or more Parliament. Okay. All of them are Northerners. One more had to come under the name or caption Northern Caucus of Parliament, or the Northern Part. All 57 constituencies in the North to campaign for DMB. Normal someone can say Montomano because or one of us. They never say Montomano on any issue base. They say Montomano because he's one of us. And I mean, you may think say be a mobilizing or more mobilizing, but it cannot be a coincidence that all 100% of Northern MPs follows a northern candidate. It cannot be a coincidence. Well, it presupposes and affirms the point. They say there's nothing wrong with that. Say identity politics. Or no. Say me padia me ko mi fie do me for catches or do me hana mi free omonye dey monto mame. But I mean, so far as that consistently goes on, then it entrenches the whole philosophy of identity politics in Ghana and everywhere in the world. Okay. Identity politics is so. Identity politics is not tribalism. Christians may say, oh, we could the Assemblies of God in the intimate the emano. Don't we see that? Yen to about Krumha since 92, Asante region predominantly accounts who identifies with the MPP has always been voting for the MPP. Do you think it's a coincidence? Say, I didn't vote region to my MPP that, but it's always NDC. And I can't say be NDC, be an no. What I say? So it supports my case about sa identity politics once my head maker. And do know that interestingly, sa MPC is MPs by 11 your mokoye campaign ma Dr. Bawumia on the northern score. No. When you me catch or say a mutre whose name I shall leave and mention because I don't have the permission to put their names out. Okay. One more every day is in Ken's house. I almost lobby for vice presidential candidate. They are very so much aware can win. Wow. Uno no kasa almost so openi nyese bia ho no ye gidi se DM betima win you. But ye ndi e kira ye nuanom be catch say akọ support to Kabonya. Kabonya no akoye say I mean people construe it as disparaging, but there's just a sasantefo and account for ye nuanom no den some ye ntafo. Just like how they also represent as Kabonya say adana okoto abama obi a oye de onye ye nipa na so nkan ye. What I say? So I mean, it's there. I've seen a lot of campaigner who videos be about Bawumia has met his Muslim community and was advocating. So there's nothing wrong with that. It was good for us then as a party, and there is nothing wrong with that. Every me cast me require them come bush for catch them before say before. Okay, Professor Mills. Or say I deal with fear day. Identity politics is so normal. Okay. And the point I am making is if people have capitalized on identity politics and benefited from it, why is it that when it comes to we look into your face and then create a perception? So MPP they account for party I don't know NDC for also no presidential candidate free Asante region. How did they treat him? Because the point is that every region, every tribe and those things, your voter behavior is deeply rooted in our politics and I reflect it. Other than the panic catcher say MPP for someone pack and fast pay other tribes as well. One can't almost pass Asante region for us. Almost maybe your presidential candidate for near who one hour to Panetia or then 9 the week after neighbor. Uber right, Mbappe Uber right. Now the left and Panetina Abobono as the left to Koshe. It will be difficult. So as a matter of strategy, you don't live to diffuse or clear certain perception agenda be obiade as a term. That's not how we do politics. You have seen, say, consistently, this is where voter party and your strategic winning approach has always been. Asante region the try, Banede, Emma, Unya Shanti, Unya Easting, Unya Central, it be a bonanza half, Unya so you've won the election. So why will you then say, you are changing the model because, say, NDC has set a trap for you, say, yes, be a own pay, not necessarily, I mean, on hot basis. At the end of the day, you were so much interested in diffusing that argument. We diffused that argument in the they could see, say. The result was what we saw. What I say. So we need to get to a stage where we have to separate discussion of voter behavior from tribal or religious politics. Somebody
Big Joe, there. MPP, Amanyoku, which Ken Agyapong, and a year Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Why near the bar 2028? Obey me, Agyapong and I'm MPP for.
To me, share the way Bawumia Akufado do Omutam Nachum. The only Ghana they are called the Emboa. To me, imagine say, Kennedy, they are by Bobo, Kennedy, Okano, correct, or bar, a Bobo saying, Bawumia. But we also bar, or 1,000 times, or Lucy. Do me, MPP, Bimbla countries, Northern region. Former defense minister, Yana Etapa, every year, every 4 years, now winning up to now. Wapwa ya kupentrate ya kupentrate the brain.
We now that's
what ono no our current MP our Bimbla country. Okay. No see I made the imagine sir me vote ya wan kre has it ya. Me ko vote ma NDC.
Who voted my NDC? I didn't.
Me started voting 2000. Aba say 2012. Try my MPP in 2016.
See, at the end of my was a sour jam with my NDC.
Then Tina made some again say. Omo ba kunja so mo dada man fu so mo ba umba yesi amma nimma bebre apeja fu ese me say me ya deliver my first me to fuel am to 1.5 me di me adwuma the whole day see a NDC buy ya won say nimma sisa see a me to fuel 100 cedi a instead of 1.5 me to 100 cedi me to my adwuma the whole day the following day me sabato ibia me to less than 100 cedi ti o pay that.
To the upper Ken.
MP Ken.
To camera. Ken bad the better MPP.
Oh, Ken bad and better Bawumia de walai. And I say me vote no wa me kurum bimbla. And I say me kwatwa Obama better ma dominate one ma guy ma NDC presenter.
Na wo shop Bawumia so ye ukrom ni nti ade nti na won to Obama.
Ba won kan kure.
Wo ukrom ni no kan no.
Me ma me aga sa.
Bawumia wa din throttle so na wa ka bibi en se wo kan na wa ye bibi. E de nti na wo ka se Bawumia kan no kwa.
Den ti me ka se o kan kure so o say ono ba o ba sanne ma bebre o ba $30 afina o mo ba na dollars le bia peja o ko tan nima and there o ko dura china o ko tan 10 cedi o ko dura the following day o ma to 15 cedi
Me da say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Che say dia na adom so na eyewrade ne eda na se enne yenso yeda so etinkwam enne akoye mande yinkwiande ane na menim se won so awo hwa me wo ho ye yenso egu studio ha yame adom ye ho ye boss baby biara obi awo yede nyame asibiem na ye nyina yetie audio kwasi kwate nsem a wo kan abusia won so betimi de wadwentwe aba na ne yebedi nkomo pa efa Kennedy Akomprekun Agyapong ekwan a wo befa so a ye Frank 2028 we be kanensa enum ana ya sinkonya ene me guess for today offer e wo fie ha edi no e de shodi na offer atna see there na ene ye hwe comment aba Kwame Osikwen all the way 2028 and our face Osebonsu ono so say good morning from up there and down here ye nyina ye chia Salim ono so say Ken 2028 abusia munko so na mfa mo comment na embra e be read e de amount na over
ohima
wo sha ntama akwasi kwaten e kan ya eni de mu a wo sha MPP amanyoko no wujidi se enne se edu promise na Ken nsa be kan de
ohima be da wase
ni vote no was through to the extent say one dey wa calculate hu say ene was ba bia ono akasa check the phone so ahwe se de ane ma akọ ohwe se de media no so se ne ane ma akọ Ken ebe wi ni promise
ohima me da wase ni acha ahwefo onse kwasi kwaten akasa bebre na nye enna no pay nko a we ye enne anopa yi interview akoye ye enye enna no pay nko na kwasi kwaten nsem a o kan wo de wani di akira wo hu se eye ensem a wutie na wo hwe nea ekoso a wo hu se papa no nye ntro na otwa ye ekoso a ye nyina ye ni tua no eno na papa no ye dey eka so on se wo bisa me se me ye sure se Ken betumi awini a yes Ken betumi awini ewo nyina so bebre a echese honorable Ken Agyapong this contest a wo moko no Kennedy ohene Agyapong betumi awini first ye hwe delegate anase MPP for mpanimfo a omu fi se omu ayo omu adwe se omu pese omu party no emra power no
okay
omu a omu fi se omu pese party no emra power no a power ntem no a omu nyina no omu esese omu support honorable Kennedy Akomprekun Agyapong because sorry say on say producer ebo last video
no yeah
sorry enye ntro ne nipa edi ana wo ye yewura Bawumia achidi ni kura binim se no yewura Bawumia enkrofo nyina omu nso no egugem se yewura Bawumia campaign no atonsuom se yewura Bawumia ogina ho a onhunu asem a onka asem bia obeka no asem a Ghana for ento asem no nanu okogina platform so a all can say yaye bone enti no momfa ye bone nche ene ade utie commentary Ghana for ma utu mu say sa asem na yewura Bawumia ekoka ye no eno no emfa kwaya ento Ghana for asum
okay
sa asem wo kan ento Ghana for asum eno achikura na yewura adutum eba ya ono nso ebechire mu which is enokre na wo mu eka because ye nyina ashodi ye nyina ye boom eman who ye do ye finance minister ye do ye education ye do ye road ye do ye way obia be kwa kobu na konta se de nyuma esitie omu a opani no hwe babu ma omu opani no etu kwai no oma obia sika so mfa enye adwuma no obidin ye ko hye efom obidin ye ko to ho so nde wosuro obidin de eye ya pani no ba ye no na wabɔ ho mienu obi so de ne de ekoye ye ba ye na wabɔ ho no oba ye no obi age ne reward according to adwuma a waye dey waye enti no obi amane ensai obi so enti se mo obi a ewo ni gina bia wo gina obi a wo de ahye ne nsa enti na ye to abama omanpanina obia sector bia ne de ode ebe hye ne nsa obu a ye de hye ne nsa omanpanina no hwele se niema no enkoyi a within short time na wasesan anana wayi wadi so enti se ye de adwuma mawo na wo side no wa ma wo homoden a na eba se nyina ye ebu akonta na wo pachew a wo be pachew awo side a wa momoden no na mo mia me gidi se adwuma pani no de ma me no maye ama no aye kama no a me no wo pachew bi ama me for what body be na ma ya wo pachew ama me
okay
enti se wo susu se wa ye bone a pa wo bone no ho chew se bia me ye fa me as an economist enti no obi anim se ye economy ne de enka ebekọ yie pa nanso ye de me koto team nanu no economy no anko yie enti Ghana for me pamachew momfa nche me na ukọ wadim so o pachew sa na ukọ wanim na o be kan se ministers board directors ne ade nyina no ye nyina ye pachew a mo pachew na me nso adwuma adi bi me nsa na maye nie ade ntina o be pachew ama me so ye hwe delegate ya ye hwe a omubu afu grassroots a omubu afu a omu se party no enhwe wo mo omu ebre ene ade a eno no eye ni da ho ana ese ni da ho bone no eni bone fefre eye ni da ho ana NPP fo a mo ba ya munya position na me ka se NPP ni bia ye man position a wantumi amwa grassroots fo no eni kwan se delegate fo no kra ehwe nanim
identity because of one
because ye wura Mamudu Bawumia ya to abama wo why vice president 2 term nese mwantimi amwa grassroots nese tembia onabo Ken Agyapong ana kasa ye dede amaduru mebi kura okasa mamokasa wakasa etia party no na mo de nasi wo edi na tem se wakasa etia party meanwhile enokre na oka kire mu so enokre na oka kire mu de oka na mu twabo no nyina eno na mo pa ho chew no bank oka ye no anaka mutie ya enkene mo be kwa kopa chew se the grassroots for emfa mo bone enchebo enka mo kopa chew enti no mo nyina manya opportunity manya bre manya kwai a esese nka mo ne grassroots for no edi ni yie mo ne delegate for no edi ni yie so but mo amfi wo mo sa boy bi baso na oyi ministers ana ochiche ni position na die ntia omo eye no regional balance tribal balance ne ade no eye saa wo ye you na say ufri northern region na ye you as a minister of road wo no esese ministry na wo no ene chance a wanya no wo so ugina so de boa onkrofo a omo wo region enu ti na yekoyi ministers ni nyina every one side ya na aye kasa ne ade no because region bia district bia person hu nipa ye dey enkom because onu ne nim region no ehaw na ono so aye dey agina so e dey aboa wo mo yemmisa yewura Mahmoud Bawumia wonya chance no ne region ho no e dey amoa ana wo de koma wo mo
ada wa amoa
so e dey amoa pa na wo de koma wo mo
ba wo so a wotumi say
ana enye yewura Mahmoud Bawumia nko wo hwe MPP fo no bebre a wo munya opportunity a wo mu ba ban mu a ye ma wo mu ministers ene ade no dodo na etumi eya ade eboa wo mu region wo mu ba bia wo mu wo dodo na so emfi wo mu dodo na emfi wo mu wo se ye to aba MPs no say na ekofie say na ekofie dodo na ekofie it means that wo be ye minister wo be ye MP wantimi amoa wo kromfo wantimi amoa wo area fo wantimi amoa wo party fo wantimi ye enye ebra ye kase NPP de asanteman mu wode sabe wode aboa pra begina wa ye beto ama nye sabre ni biemu enye sabre ni du hwe NPP MPs a omu ekofie including Asante region dodo na ye dey elusu yi so omo eteki grassroots no granted mu yo ma say o manya position no awie enti no tumi na bedi omo nsa de omo pe bia no omo de ye but that time no na honorable candidate Japan a ono one ministerial post bia no na oboa hospitals na oboa delegate na oboa grassroots na osuma wo mo na okasama wo mo and so still na NPP party for nye dey emfi no omo emfi nanu ya yewa jondaman mama eba yi hwese party executive district executive name regional executive ni ade won say wa mama dodo na position yes anete because position bi o wa o mfa nkoma NDC abe position bi wa o mfa nkoma MPP ni on ese position no se de tie bia no NDC ni na wo de be ma do de ma NDC ni a enye obi a wo ye bia wunua wo wa kontuom baabi na a wanka kukurudu kura da no na wakofa ne se o magi sa position no o mu amuni wo mu ebre ye no monhwe na mommoa wo mu e wo sa kwan no so but manye but edu se mo sa pe position bi mu no na ukogina wo ka se yemfa wo bone enchew na uba bi mu a wonye ne saa wonye wi a enuanom enye obia na obetumi asisi no atoaso mienu obu a wusi si no once pa unya ne biem obu ho obenya no twice unya no third one obu ho ohun se ne osuba si tie once a eno anu no enti we nyina e kire se MPP mu no honorable Kennedy Akompreko Agyapong se delegate no e hwe grassroots for no e hwe a onu na se omuhunu se okoma wo mu onu na se omuhunu se odima wo mu onza wodi forms bi enama wo mu enfele na woni wo mu ye agreement se oba de se wo ye ma wo mu no wodi ton krata so obeye ede aboa wo mu because o ma bre why se obi ye delegate na ne ba awie school e kopa adwuma na sa adwuma no ye fa na ye na ye ka kire ne se ontwe sika ansa na yafa no adenti ana se ontwe sika ansa na yafa no miwa chance da ho mo betumi adai afa no mumfa no na contractor ba wo party no mu a mo benya mo de be ma MPP fo bi no mo aye no mo di sika no a support party no mo de contractor na makoton ama different person mo di contract na makoton ama different person na party fo a wo mo ebre party no mu no na wo mu ete ho miwa ba se party no tire na ye pesika dia support party na sankrofo na yi wo mu sika e di support party no eti eni da ho boni de eni da ho boni no obeye di da ho boni wi anya fe na obegina wo se mepamachew wo yesa emwa so ana sesi a shodi abana 2028 ebekọ akoto no Ghana fo nyina na ekoto aba no nya NPP fo nko Ghana fo nyina na ekoto aba no enti se wo NPP mu na se wo ye wadwene se NPP fo ni bi epawasem enu nti no ye nto aba ma wo NPP mu a kan hunu se ye to aba ma wo NPP mu wi a ye sa di wakogina national na national no delegate for no mode money etoto form no mode maso toto form no and komo be na ekoso e wo national and komo be na ekoso wo Ghana ha nyina no na se honorable Ken Agyapong ba o mo beto aba ama no on say na no interview ye nipa o mo ekasa ndodo na no say na o mo kai o mo se obu a wase otoma NDC
October NDC or MPP po
MPP pa and wase otoma NDC because candidate including boy Breya ye born in video yi on why not na
so free no
and so was it MP ni dey otoma not na but NDC a badge you know presidential no otoma NDC sana mo pe anase say entino untumi enka say wo wabeye flag bearer da na wona wachini Ghana nyina enti Ghana fo nyina enim wo eno ntino wo gina eno so say yentoma wo betimi afri krom ha sodi obi ani wo krom ha enam subaya bia wada na di no eno na be ma wo area fo age watum
andampa
nyese nipa no onyu keke obi wa ye howo enso oba ha one day a de obeye no wo be gina tum as nipa watena ho so many years enti emfa ho say wona ye yiwu as a candidate as a flag bearer enti wachiri the whole Ghana enti no enu enti no Ghana fo eni omu enim wo a wuchiri ye no emma say no mutoma wo wuchiri Ghana nyina no nipa sign na to aba eyede emma wo enu na sese ubisa John ana obi won so a onko krom ho kra da but ode moa akoma wo mo ho chiri wo mo no osuma ma yakoboa wo mo na wo akọ a wankọboa wo mo ene obi a ahokyere baaye wankọkra enso wasuma am yakoboa wo mo no wan din ana eda ho tese ko Tamale teaching hospital wan din na eda ho se eduru bra dumso baaye a omunya generator ene ade enya adwuma no wan na eboa wo mo but ye won krofo a omu firi wa no omu ye ministers ye won krofo a omu firi wa no omu ye MPs but Ken Agyapong na onye minister na onye MP wo area ho enso ono and ma wo musika koto generator de ko ma wo mo eno ti ekoba sa wo a wo firi ho no ene a problem ba ya want to solve ama wo mo no ene obi a wono emfiri ho even onko ho krada na ahokyere ba ye no wotumi akoboa wo mo wo fi se eba se wo mu echusu obi a when wo mu ebechusu no oba chusi ni krom ni a omo ano dabi yesa na tie enu ti na during campaign time a yewura Mamudu Bawumia ekoka se ofiri north ntino omu entoma no ene ade no omu emfi no because omu be bisa question say ofiri ha ede na waye amaye okay ofiri ha ede na waye amaye enu no omu ebe bisa etino eye abrabo nipa no wo bo no dada de wo bo ene wo ye nyina no enipa ye dey ehwe etino sesi a hwe de wo tena trotro mu wo tena ofa Uber ofa taxi ofa boat ofa okada na wo ye wadwe se wo di nkomo wo ni nipa no di politics mu nkomo kakra de nipa no be kan ne se me de se kan de ama me nto aba wo the MPP ni enso Ken Agyapong mento so because MPP ni mapapa no ono no se we lose confidence when the candidate mu a onkoto man the opponent do be ya ne se onto aba enu ti na 2024 election no wo sha nye se MPP for no ekoto aba ma NDC o kakra bi na bi a omkoto ma NDC dudu pa no o man to because NDC vote no ankosoro ahibia but MPP for vote no eno na eso ye dey etiye onkoto because ne ho ye na hi onkoto because ubaye no wa ye na dwe se candidate a uba no onim nia wodi ye dey wodi ba onim dia wodi ba na se obi nyameye vice president obi nyameye minister obi nyameye we na se nipa no atumi abiebie nyuma afanko a odaso ebiebie nyuma to that time okọ primals no 2 regions are omo etuma no pa o promise wo mo say obebie factories e was our regions no say dia me no e ka say wakoto ensase wo ho a oguso e ya ahoboa say wa promise obe deliver sana eti o enti say nipa we ofi say obeto aba ma no as a president obeba onfa obia ho onye because o meye president kura no odwiri nipa ho na oba be president wo bedi be ba beda no so o meye president enye force say omo nipa o enye force say obi ba omo ano enye force say omi enwuma ema nipa nye so enka sika kese a wode toto company wode bie factories ni ade yi so no so islegon asasi ene ada ayia omu nano factory okoto ya wose sika wodi etua rubber factory okoto ya wose sika wodi etua ye no etimi eto asase wo se cantonment ase ehene obi di sika be kwa akoto obi nso di be bia adwuma se nipa enya binye endi se nipa mienu no o compare wo mu a hwan na office wodi o man no ese ne nsa o man no betumi akoyie enti we nyina ya de Ghana for ayeden ahwe ana oma susu ana oma hunu se dabi onabo Ken Agyapong ayi obi a Ghana ha waboa yen ye ba hospital donations a wayen no wuntumi enkai because okọ hospital na ne yire no Mama Christy Kumase ana o di ho adanse because say Mama Christy nso no afa to no ho so say ema ne de obehwe se obeboaboa ema ne nyina no na waka nia nikunu eye ene nisuade hu na nikunu eden ewo because Mama Christy was say ema nko na wawo wanwo bema enu ti say ba ema wonum said ye ema esitie ana o ka say ne papa efiri muntem ne maame ana titi ni mowire ma ede ye den ehwe no enti wonim said ye ema asetena esitie ana sodi bema bia obeye bibi no na wo yire na esoporto tenka onabo Ken Agyapong adoya wo ye nyina nka ne yire empene so ne yire nsoporto no akanya dia obeye do atams kra wo ya na ohia sika ne yire na timi ma ne sika se gi ne fa supporto nti ne yire no so yi obi a oho abadaye enti sa onabo Ken Agyapong eba ebeye president a ezo hunu se ne nyema bi okwa na adwene efiri so a ne yire no ye oba papa obede obekai no
na yenhwe ade baako enemesan bisa edie wususu say Ken omo de bema no because ene yentemamufo no ana say outsiders fo no ese wo mo pe Ken okwa bonti ya wo bia wo se me pe Ken ama mento aba we ama but ye hwe empenifo delegate fo no wo mo beto aba for primaries no wo mo no wususu say wo beto e de ama no ama Ken abedi president ana and mamisa misa o say enei yeyi Dr. Bawumia si wo ni yeyi Ken Agyapong si wo e ye die nti e na mpanifo no e kame akoye say na eti America sa no na panu masam e na mi yusu biem e wo ha I can't remember so one of your sister station hosting no na ne kasa mu no na Kent Hobi wono akoka say ne nke ya anya ya ade na which means say ye wo MPP mpanifo ni bi wo ho a wo mo peken asam ebia is it because of na no kasa no and almost ro say bia Ken ba nema bi I don't know
so the eye abro ani baye
abro ni baye
abro ani baye tie dia make no say beginning no bi say Ken betumi aweni ene Ken betumi aweni
na mo de ba man
Ken betumi oweni how say omu fa ema no
na say ye mu bi pe ana
da bi say anu de ye koto aba no omu ya that time no men fan compare with you so the totally different.
Okay.
On 2023 dia omu koto ye no different from 2026 dia ombeko akoto because 2023 unhwe mu a yewura Nana Akufo-Addo anana etiso so Nana Addo anana etiso Nana Addo efiri so 2025
yeah
January 2025 Nana Addo ye dey efiri so and 2023 no Nana Addo ewo years a obesan ayedai atwa and no omu a Nana Addo ama omu position no Omuni omu call agreement. Any MCs, any DCs be call agreement. So what would district, you know? Say nya candidate say free or oma trauma yura Mamudu Bawumia. Ye be ji wadwuma afiri wonsem. Sana eko so. Obi ye MP. Ya sa man contract obi ye MP wasa ye minister. Ya ka kire ne say wo region no ana district a wo ye MP no. Ya nya enipa dodo say am vote ama yura Mamudu Bawumia. Wonso wadwuma ebe bow. Nipa no bebre aba abonten abedi adanse a ekire se eye nokore nyentro ana mitwa. Enti dodo na no omu ekoto aba no onso obu ho na akwaya te se onu akra no onim se Kennedy ana ba ebeboa but oye campaign a wontimi nkobo Kennedy din e wo campaign ase because when you MCE no okobo Kennedy din se montuma Kennedy a na dwuma ebebo no enti se onu akra no efi se Kennedy na mepe a onu nko ade ebe secret ballot na obetumi akoto ma Kennedy but omu edi na chi no omu enkoto ma Kennedy because all your campaign was here ntoma other person asma me can what mase enti wo hwe vote akan nyaye no a na ye binu akora se ase je de e course wo nyina no can a vote wo nyaye no is encouraging so e course but wo hwa nipa no bebre no no mu ye MP no mu ye we no ebinum ankasa de omu tirimu no omu hu se Ken eye papa nto mbokwa akoto ma Ken but oye campaign a ontimi nkodina campaign platform so enye campaign se montuma Ken enti no omu edi na chi nyina betima akoto ma yewura Mamudu Bawumia but ono nko ade obokwa akoto ma Ken wonje me kire no enti no sesei no sa chance a omunya no that time no eni obiem they say enye yewura Kufuado na etiso enti hwan na abekwa koka kire ne se wanto ama me a memma wadwuma enye wanto ama me a meji opposition wanto ama me a meye osei wontumi enti na sese no MPs ni bi ayi omo anim no nano a ye ma me call ajusu MP wayi nanim so support Ken onsuro because obia ni ho a wateso a na na do sese otifie oni post biem sese yewura Mamudu Bawumia onye vice president biem enti no ye nyina ye pepepe enti why say ube intimidate me say me ube ka me de me pe ase me mu say MCs no former MCs no dodo na no o ma ba plane first no o ma ntumi ma plane me ye campaign ma honorable Ken Agyapong enti say we delegate na say ebia me MC mo shemase maboa mo ene ade na say me gina platform so ye campaign ma Ken a why na wonso bokwa akoto ma no wonso bokwa akoto ma Ken ana nyese o to ma Ken no o to ma ne kekese we yesei o ye nhwehwemu a hu se eye onu ana ye to ma na party ni betuma ede aba power because onu na Ghana for no eye dey epe no enti delegate no omu yi candidate na de Ghana for pe no onu na sese omu ye dey omu eyi no enye de party ni pe na of yi de party ni pe na Ghana for mpe no a ye tuma no enu ti no party no kura no sese kura no so di sese kura no why na party de pe me hope say sese kura no party for no dodo na omu tuma yewura Mamudu Bawumia no oma anu omu adodo na adwene asesa utie yewura kwasi kwate kasa na wasi why say eba say yakop primaries no baby wo candidate no enya 100% ewo ho but ye ko general election no wotimi nya 0 adentia
ene na adentia
so enti wanyina ye emfato ho ne hwetantwehso a wodi behwe ehunu say candidate na modene baaye no eya memenemfe ana party no mo ye agem boye bia ehu mudi hu hye omumu se mo koto ye dey ema sa nipa no because so this is how we MCE na o pe kan asempa wonim se kan ba nyema be ye but Nana Akufo-Addo enyam free so obeye adwuma be say 1 year na 1.5 year na say ka kire o say o constituency no wa nya member say omu be vote ama particular person wadwuma no ye beji afri won nsema e de na obeye o ye campaign a untumi enkoka se obia nkotuma enipa we de obeka ne se yentuma nipa na wote so a ono ne ma wadwuma no ebi kura wa wo de wutiri mu no wonum se nipa no ba emo ba onko betima kotoa maken but omo mu di wachi no untumi nye campaign se omo ntuma kan so enti sa na te ba se no sankrofo ni nyina na timi aba bonten abegina public ye campaign eni hu se omo achidifo no ehe ni omo ebeko ana media ya na me kan se delegate bia ma obi na ada no ono ankasa mfa nani entofo na onwe candidate ni nyina na onhunu se candidate hwan ana ye de ne ba Ghana fo beto abaye de amano mo ankasa mo tena trotro mu a mo misa mo amowo mo cars na eduru no bi a mo hye da mpake mo cars no na mo mfa trotro na mo hwe enkomo a eye de koso na hye da fa taxi na ni binom eni nkomo mo hye da ni bi ni nkomo na mo follow on my channel no ne channels a omo eye ekofield koye interview ebisa nkrofo adwenkyere no na mo tietie ni nyina ansa na delegate no mo hwe so eje akoto aba mo hwe so ahunu se nipa ben na ye de ne ba NPP betumi aba power na nya nipa ye de ne ba NPP for na epenasem ne ade no nya NPP for nko na ekoto aba January general election no nya NPP for nko na ekoto aba 2028 nya NPP for nko na ekoto aba general election ana ye eko the candidate who is a Ghana for pen no ana say delegate no moto eye dey ema no
na onim offer na o kasa no na o kasem bi for Judicial MP ne waji nanim etwe se obeto ama on the vote dey o the mama Ken nanka minim se MPP omo ye maame baako papa baako anantesa ne enti ameka sa ne se ye nyira ye maame baako papa baako a adenti na mintimi yi manim nkase se bia me wo Dr. Mahmood Bawumia side se enya bone se me yi manim ana me wo Ken enso side enya bone se me yi manim because se ye nyina ye ya busuaku a nesa kasa ne wantwi ekoso wo media no so to me no me wachira ameka se nesa nkabom edi nkabom eni MPP amanyoko ni se nkabom wo mu a na enei se mukokrom enei ye kokrom mukofield a obia se eye Ken ena mode ne ba ye beto amana ana obi se bia ye Dr. Mahmood Bawumia ena mode ne ba ye beto amana adenti ne yentimi nsipi ne yi baako ne yenka se ya hwe hu se ye de asumasi ba ye beto amana nti ye nyina ye vote ye boa ne ye ye ntuma abo ye ntuma no ana se ye nyina obi ade ne ntuma be sisi ano ne ye pushi nipa baako yi adenti na emanesa
je wo kan senka eye clear e wo Ghana ha se omudi omon amaso to fom no ebi a yewura Mahmood Bawumia ana bia Ghana for pen no te se de sisi a wo ka se wo ko ba bia wo mo se eye honorable kana enka je wo kan ke binom be soje sisa se yewura Bawumia na Ghana for nyina se wo mo pen no de a ada na ye nyina ye nhwe na ye mfa no emma but a favor other candidate a omu empene
okay
won se akwatia election a omu ekoyi won se omu anko primaries o Oman ko primaries
adenti
MPP for no anko primaries anko yi nipa omu choose nipa omu choose nipa but nipa omu choose no na omu ewo ama say oye candidate oye former MP ono ana ekotu yewura Baba Jamal wo hwe mukura na akwatia MPP fa na NDC afa but wo hwe margina yewura ye maame ama say editu Baba Jamal na eno kwa ne ade ana emu ye dai emu etwe asesi ano wo ka ye maame ama say no nanka na akotia ho no nanka edom no epe no but enom say omu sutu say owo honorable candidate Japan camp enti no ono ana edom no epe no omu anyi no omu koyi other person ono no emegina MP da so no na omu no susu say ono wo ada camp bi enti no yemfa ono ye dey emra so eno de omu epene de nipa no bai omu de ne bai no nipa no so akwede akolusu wakolusu enti no enye party choice o eye yes enye party choice ana ma utumi
we extended family nye nuclear family
so yes enye party no choice ana ma nipa no betumi ayde awini
okay
because party no susu say ye the way ba na ye betumi awini wouldn't say nipa no koye no mo lusu enti no etum na bia say nye abro ni bayi a omo ankasa nipa public ne ye dey epe no enso omu mfa say nipa no ye dey emma 2024 election honorable Ken Agyapong e kan plane say ebinom e ka kire ne say onkrofo esi omu emfa omba ana onipa no bisa say na na osi yenim say Ken ye de ne ba obewi ne so ye mfa no mba
right
ba say omu ni sa chance ne bi that chance a omu de chechire nkrofo nsa omu ama omu antoama honorable Ken Agyapong no that chance no eni ho bi so ndi we no de say de tie bia no honorable Ken Agyapong bia be free ni mu obia be free ni pe mu akoto aba no se ne ope ndi we no wo de hwe honorable Ken Agyapong ebe wini because we be free and fair on intimidation bi anye dey emam
of are you sure again next say we ebe free and fair
and then untumi nya wadwene say ukobu obi nipa honorable Ken Agyapong untumi ka say ukoburu honorable Ken Agyapong nipa so oze na ebinum nim say omo intimidating wo kwan bi so na nko no so aka say o me so mafiri mu ba waka no plane ama omo ya aware say the obi abaye no ono bukja mo obi nwene say ono be free NPP party ni mu say de yewura Alan yakobu ni nipa ofiri mu no enti no wo ye NPP ni a ana mami make we so clear am say yewura Kwasi Kwate e kan
okay
wase say wo ye honorable Ken Agyapong achidi ni a menya wadwene say ukoto ama honorable Ken Agyapong a yebesisi mu ama bia esisie bia bam ama bia owini a yemfa ma say na ubisa no wase no enya dia ebeba sa vote bia ube vote no yebe count vote bia ube vote no yebe count honorable Kennedy akompre ko Agyapong last election wo mu eye promise wo mu koye no constituency bia no odini nipa ekogina ho constituency bia odini nipa ekogina ho enu di no ono no onye obi a osi nsuo mansa na waham onsi nsuo mansa na waham waye prepared enya de se ubetimi de na sekai edwa nanka enti no vote bia waye se u vote ma Honorable Ken Agyapong no menya wadwene se bia onya police station agent enkoha enti bia ye vote ma no a omu ebewia no no obi antimi enwia no eno de mo nya clear ana wo a waye wadwene se election no a promise na omu ebekọ no waye wadwene se ubewia ama obi no mentemte because what temte a ohun be kire because obia aye prepared obia ebo ni vote ho ban because enkoba se me pe Kennedy na me ko vote ama Kennedy na mo ko wia me vote no eja koma obi e maso ntia no de obia enye na dwemo class we ye Kennedy nipa banya wadwen se obi betumi akosisi obi ukoto aba no a wo de ukoto wia obetumi agina ho na wahwe se nea ebekoso na mabọ ballot box no ho ban se de be ya obi ntimi enyina ni tumi so emefa ballot no ana onkosisi obi ene ade bo ho ban obi ye na dwene se oye nea emfa emrakwa mu a mempene sanete enti no Kennedy ohene Agyapong the team no o ma ye ready o ma ye prepared o ma ni da ho o ma boaboa wo ho say every vote a obe vote ama Honorable Ken Agyapong no hwe say menya wadwene say vote no obi be wia Agyapong Kennedy ho e ma sada ana mu hunu say Honorable Ken Agyapong nipa bebre say entise kane no they say nipa bebre wo party no mu no omu aye bold ayi omu anim kane no yan hunu za omu ayi omu anim ese no ye hwe nia ekono a comparing last election na ye no a ye hu se honorable candidate Japan ani obi a ye de ne ba ebetumi ayedai aboa enti wo ye candidate Japan nipa memma wo ye mo nhyesew wo ye candidate Japan nipa memma bibia emu abam wo ye candidate Japan nipa be bold ne duru ho apie na koto aba wo ye delegate apie na koto aba ema honorable candidate Japan so wo pese NPP eba power dia ana and the leadership of honorable Akompre candidate Japan no enya de se mo party for amabre wo party no mu no oba obeyi mo amada because NPP mu no ye nim se ye to abama flag bearer ono na ye leader of the party enu nti no senia onye leader kora okoma mo no senia onye leader okasa ma mo no senia onye leader mo koye campaign ene ade a ono na mamo resources emamo de koye campaign no obeye leader mo behunu nia obeye ayedai amamo because ono na nim mo hawo ono ana nim mo hawo ono nim atete amoye de mo fam mo bebre no eba se mu hia bibi eba se mu su ba se mo ho kire mo a ministers wo ho benimfo bebre wo ho enso mo ntumi nko o mu ho because mo nim se mo ko o mu ho a emo an yedai emba ono na mo su kire no a mo nisuo yedai eba on de timi pepa mo ni wani suo enu nti sa nipa we ebeye leader of the party sa nipa we ebeye flag bearer of the party a mu hunu se enya de se obedidi ejamo mu hunu se obedi oman no so a enya de se de esfata mo no odi bema mo obedi oman no so a eye oman ni nyina na odi to ba se de yewra dwondraman ma ha ma ba ya positions bebre wo ho a one farmer NPP for no sa neti ono so ba sa positions a eso odi ma NPP for no obehwem ama mo amo bre wo party ni mu no yesi de obre na edie mo amo bre wo party ni mu no obehwe se o ma mo bre enye den enye kwa na enkoba se wo ye delegate wo ye constituency executive na oba be wie school ekwai ni ho ma obia fine but enkoba se ekwai wo ho na enipa no a wo kwoto aba ma anu no a wono anya position akonya ba bia tana no ono ebe ka kire wo se tu esika sei ansa na mama ya fa oba Canada Japan time emma so sa enu nti no delegate no mo fa nhye mutirimu se honorable Canada Japan ebe lead party no a enya de se ne course previous years no ebetumi asan akoso biem isan se ono no o ma ye kora no okoma mo ono na eko ema mo wo hwe Ghana ha kora Canada Japan abiebie enwuma bebre no a eye saa onam campaign mu eye campaign no ne ade ni nyina no okoduru ba bi na se bia party executive vi eba enya adwuma anya ne ade a otumi fa no na adwuma mu otumi eka se koye adwuma wo mi company no mu so tana oye wose koye adwuma ewo mi company bo so me so a ye be dai ye betua wo ka enya aban sika no ye de offer the amount but wo ma wo maka no wan na beka se koye adwuma wo mi company mu koye we on enada na na beko so me ba meboa mo enso oba ye no wa hu a wode boa wo bi enu nti we ne ade ese delegate no mo fa ntum tirim na mo hunu se onabo Canada Japan eba ono ni obi a obetumi ayede aboa mo ma obi a emedada mo se ye ba ye be yesei onya akro ba ye no woye dan onya akro ba ye no ede no ye ma mo enu na ese mo hwe yesi first fool is not a fool sanity shodi
the first fool is not a fool but second fool who is the fool no one ane uguso a ehwe ewo oman channel nkomo na na eguso a yedi no na ye nyina ye nim kwasi kwate nsem a wokan na me de kakra me de betoa eso ye nyina se MPP for moso mu nyina mo maame ene mo papa ye ba ko dia se kamenko a kamonko benkro na mo ankasa mo hwehwe mo widie mo paake mo ka na mo kwa bonten muntie de timamufo na eka ane mo ankasa munya mo nhwehwe mu na mo hu nniema ebinum eka Samosa 2028 mo pese sebe Frank Anemunya dia anase mo meje president me free MPP amanyoko ni pa dia ene na manarasis na munye ni ye pa because enei ye hwe nkrofo a anto aba bisa wo ho se eyedi enti na nkrofo anto aba wa bisa wo ho sa wo bisa wo ho se eyedi enti ena o manto aba eye oman ni na nemu ayeden anase time na ye papa the former president was no adogagai eye boa bi na o mamwa anase niema bi esesa mudi gu akwemu amanfa nwu akwemu no eye nuntia ene ye nyina ye nim se Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wa be pacho me de bia ade ba kwa ye me de eni se so bi be hu ne bone na wonu ne ho na wa be pacho na nanki ye expect se niema bi a wo ye ye nka ababubo ba ko mienu but ebia eni brain soja ebia na wakobri obi nsukrum nti wo de yate ase ba enei montena se na munhu dia o my Ghana epe yes which opa ne dia yasom but edien na Ghana for eka papa yesre pa se bia tena mote position no hamodia ene na mo amonya mo nkata so mo aso se dia mokoye mo ade ni bi na pokan no ene na etoje mo a but mo pese MPP amanyoko ni san sobe dia me se mo mpake mo ka na mo na mabonte mo mfo trotro mo ankasa mo na mabonte mo betimi e discuss mo ho na mo ahwe ai wo de wanim no pa bibi tale na bisa etrebo a mo ni nkomo esimesi wo hwa MPP for kra 2028 one o mo de ne beboa wo beti dia Ghana for so wo beti dia Ghana for ese o mo pe se bia nipa na mo de ne ba na mo mpa wo betimi a tena se da bia meka se okwase na nsesa na adwen we de mpedifo mo nimu a yes na mom se mo do mo ho mo ne ntena se ebia su ni ben bia oda na di na mo mpa eye kasa kire obi a deserve second chance wa brabom ai to me no ebia na ni su ni ne ben bi meti ase but mom eye kasa kire esimesi mira ebia ade wei eye say because that be ameka sa kola kwa obewia ansa no wotutu ne nanti enye mfiti prekope enti mo ne nkasa na afa mu de ne ba na se bia nipa no mo de ne ba na enso ni be 4 years na enso ni a obi be se ni anya obi na kumanchu brother boss ya kwana na de ni ti age akere man because MPP amanyokuo no se mo ntimi antena se ama nkabo ma madia enya mo betena opposition ache because nkabo me wo bisa me akakra me coffee da me hu no me hu ni se nkabo ma de nkabo eni MPP amanyokuo ni aisa kwaye wo jina ache ya office MPP for mo ya nkabo mpa ba wo du nwura ma na hu se kwaye no emom ebia esisi bebiesi sa na MPP amanyokuo ni se akwaye munni nkabo bako ma mo ho na sa nkabo ma munni ma mo ho no mususu se beboa mo enkabo ma muntimi nyamma mo ho emma mo mfa pepeyo anase niema ntutu akwam no mo be ye de na ma beje frank ase de mo pese mo medito o minus mo be na ma medito yes it mo sorry waka MPP for amada mo sorry waka na mo mfa biako ye odo ene nkabom emra na meme de mesa aka bi munni nkabo ma de nkabo munni ba kokra ofa ansa na ye be sorry so no enne me pese eyem penifo no se kasa tire bi because de bia me ka se e bia onipa bi so a ene Kennedy ba bonten be ka se bi wo se kanene na na bia no ye na niema se nkola ene wanyin inti e bia kane no ye nyina enim ken ye nka no kware wo ye obi ana ne kasa bam but e bia nei wono atena se hu se na ye mistake e na waye enti unsusu se sabre ye bra wo mo be ma ne kwan na se bia se kasa de bi ana kasa chire bia
sodi honorable Kennedy Akompreko Agyapong na on kasa sakola no eye record
da bi unso ono akan
eye bible mu asem ana wo kasa me yakola na bisusi sakola me ye se eno nkyese o kasa sakola so eye sana etie ana honorable Kennedy Agyapong ono no on se eduru bi a de nti a o kasa enema bi wo ho a onima nka wanye ne ade no because ya se sodi megina wachi akwamon meko amount na eko amako amount no ebia edi problem abreme anase ko ameko amount no later wo de saade no ebe kasa etia me menu me ho se me koma wo because honorable Ken Agyapong party no wakoma party ni bebre party no beba power nyina no honorable Ken Agyapong edi mu ntintimman edum na bia amanfo e plan evil ema party no na bia wawurawura ma no akonya information so na some information no through that information no na ma evil a upload ama party no na ayede a cancel and wo hwe honorable Ken Agyapong ebufuo bebre bi ho na ne buofu ne yesi wodidi party atem ne ade sansem ni nyina no utie fu video no a obeti honorable Ken Agyapong ase okay said ye omusi odidi MPP for atem oko toy oko peace ayi utum za wanya opportunity campaign oko wanya opportunity acheche nyema bebre mu akere die ntia ba no ka sa asem no so wo hwe video no na wutie a ebeto wasum wo behunu se enye ono nana ono ne koka asem no sa meeting no na honorable Ken Agyapong enim bi okay but wo meeting na ye kasetia nipa ba akoka asem a omu ede no to abeto omu apanimfo na e wadem ho asend video no akoma omu opponent ama opponent na abo ama akofa problem aba asante mpanimfo ene NPP entem no okay enu na honorable Ken Agyapong e ka ho asem ana o ka se entimo gimi sabe se mo ankasa makosia edem mpanimfo munye nkola safumafo nyina na wasafumafo e ka asem bi na mu fi se asem no emfavor asantefo kora no a esese mu mpanimfo no modi asem no ekọ abontema mu opponent ebo ema asantefo ebufu munim se asantefo bufu a MPP entimi ma power ahemfo no bi ebufu ye ituk nanado ana de na si asem no mu epa achew okay na wo ya panin na committee na wo ye saadi we ya wo ya panin asem wo ya panin sa asem we no honorable Ken Agyapong kuma asem a yewro osafumafo kokan ye okuma yewro osafumafo esa kuma party no so we ya asem a enunti honorable but o ma kotwa 30 seconds na wo mu ebo se odidi enti na honorable kan sa asem no ya mo video ni nyina okay na so wo susu se Kennedy when did you be at them well asem a o kan no right okay right say adana yempanimfo mu makohia na mo per strategy se bia na baako kura na akoka bibia mo no nya adwene na akoka bibia wanka ni ya esese mu twa hoti komma mo opponent okay na o party ni yie ana o mpe party ni yie all because of nipa ni bi wa party no kire wo ma o mu yi o mu kapre o mu taku enwura party no mu enti no sa party no mapa wakura onfa ho ba Kennedy no odini sika wura party no mu no wo ye bibia ebetia party no a eye ne ya obeka to wo susu say because of Ken no bibia eye sika bibia sika otua ni in bi wo ha e ha no tie de me kan ye de sika na ye party o na no a omu ekoye ayi omu ko ayi legon akosia ne ade ano Mesika na omuko ne ho ekoje ye omuko enipa nya omuko so med people omuko legon omu eko amend omuko institution ne ade no okay yeah mesika na omuko kan ho koje enipa do do se na etu sika ema wo okay but omuko kan ho koje sika nipa do do se na wo party no mu a omutumi e contribute ye enti se nipa we no a otu sika se de party ne be koso no na won so wo ye niam bia de party no ebeba fom a enya ne ya ebe ne ya obekasa enti sana etie ama ba konso a wukan ba konso omukase odi yewura kufado atem ene ade obi ana omude asante reje contract nyina amano ana sa nipa no kasa tie kufado ana ono ebu ofu gina kufado achi akoma no ana all kan sama nipa no ye dai kan ye ho na omu atwa ho no omu se odidi yewura kufado atem enti wonu nyina ye nsem a enam se Honorable Ken Agyapong on so ensem bisunti no on obi wo ha onhum se asem no kra but onim se nipa no ye loud nti no ye twa ntora na bebre agedi enti no Honorable Ken Agyapong ensem bebre wo ho ne ntokwa bebre wo ho a wako a enye ono ne pe enye ono ana nipa no ebe attack no but bi wa na pani bi wo party no mu na obi attack no na wagina akire bi wa na party na nkasa nkoso nti na binom kan nsem bi a ebe ha party no ema party no akofom na wasore agina mu wo hwe anasare meya wa oni ni nya asem ma odi ne call US court wa ona bo no ankasa de ni sika gina mu edi ya enye ono na anas kokasa ti ano anas anya investigation bi amfa ona bo ho
okay
eya party no ene Ghana odi Ghana judicial you know eno na ona bo Ken Agyapong etisi mu
okay
ana enso obia an support no obia an support ona bo Ken Agyapong enti saa niema ni bi na wote ho a na waye din se saa na mo ye dia ene e ba so obepe position no o mu ankasa e fa saa nsem no e de boye dey etia no e de kasa etia no meanwhile party ni nti no okun saa ntokwa no enu nti na ama na ye din sometimes se saa na mo be ye dia ene me hwe so aye me campaign so me hwe so aye me campaign enu nti se Honorable Ken Agyapong obeye president na offer as a minister na wo ye niema enya onka enu nti se obeye president na se niema bi ekoso a onka obeka sanetie enti no nyese Honorable Ken Agyapong wa pretending ba sese no wa ye focus sese no enkoba se obi be di na tem na o correspond to nipa na o kan se omu pese omu and draw attention free baby a wo kọ no ekọ baby foforo ni ade no nti wa study ni ade no sanity plan na ebinum akọplot binum akọplan se ye be kan se nsem woni enim se ona mo ye koka obeba abeso so enu nti no ye be kan weni na ayese obedi achi a na ye nya kwai na campaign na oye no ayese omu distract no okay enu na wo se nya ade a obedi sa ade na chi enti no wo de dinatem on respondo dinatem kade ope bia afa no ho ono no okogina ho a obeset the record straight on respond to won trone won sema okay don't abronya nsema okaka nyina won say Honorable Ken Agyapong a respond no on respond no ana wa ma omu a ye kasa ma no nyina so won say ma obia enka kasa fi bia entia obi okay mo obia ni di obi atem because ono odi anim no oni di obi atem enti no clean campaign ana Honorable Ken Agyapong enti se waye din na oton ne nsem a sanetie omfi nsem a obekeka keka ne ade ana wo ma ya han wa hyeda no waye din wa han wa hyeda no waye din waye ne campaign se oye ne campaign
Ofe hone ma memre ma okochi asaba.
Debi oye ni campaign. Ekide hia no. Asabwa ebeto delegate na sumu no. Eno no oka.
Ba ofa de nim se Ken obi a me ho na ya moka.
Debi enti abronya edi na tem no. Onjai campaign no ko ni abronya nko.
Debi yenka so onjai.
Onko ni nko.
Ba o dabi eno de onko
enti onye den. Onko ni nko. Onko ni abronya nko.
Dabi.
Tana ope.
Enyesa onene nko.
Osi opesa asumdue enti na to na okọ no. Eya asumdue
amadi atoso. Because of president a opesa wonni nti na asa waye din na. Se nyame ya adom na omotoma ni wi a na Ghana for beto.
Dabi na obedi president a entokwa ebia na kane na ukono. Obedi president a unya kwan ko sa ntokwa no. Because tax na eda wo so no eso. Ye do mining na aye dey asha wonsa. Enti se wo hwe ayi nanado betan so atemdije ye di no wo ze nanado respond to. Enti tu no bia sa na tie wo hwe level na wo kɔ no a na wo hunu se nya ntokwa nyina na ye soso obi di watema you just focus
for their own person.
Yes. Anu mo di Ken Agyapong ati no dodo na no sa nyese nsem bi a ehia ana obi kan na obeso no so ne ade wo yesa nyema papa no ye no wuntumi mo ho dawuro so na no ye okoya a wakogye asase kese a obebie factory wuntumi nkama nipa nhunu so plastic factory a okoto ye a wo se sika no etimi to plot ewo enkran ha baabi no so enkran ha baabi sa sika no de to sa factory no etimi to asase ebetimi ato asase ewo ho obi be decide o de be kwakoto asase no o ono so decide say no company no be call ye me hu say Ghana for be say 300 ewo sa company no mu enu nti no me di sika no ekoto company na Ghana for no adwuma a omu ye no ebeboa wo mu nipa ba ko bia no nipa say na didi ne nsem ewo Ghana ha wo ye adwuma a wo ye bebe na wo nya adwuma a wo fiefo bebre enya adwuma because adwuma ni ha enti bosome so na wo je kakra wo be ma we kakra be ma we kakra enu nti an wo hwe ya wo de koto te wan koto company na se obi ekoto no wo de ye ade foforo a wan fa mie sa company na se ye yi Ghana fo na dia sa Ghana fo be 300 na ye yi wo madi no e de be de no mu nsa akoma no enu nti odwene se ono no omfa sika no nkoto sa asase no na mmom wo de be to adwuma no ama Ghana fo anka be yi wo madi no wo manya cha adwuma na ye dey aye sa dawuro we na MPP fo amudi onabo Ken Agyapong achi no we necessary na wo mu ebo enti wo begina na wo betwa ntoro a nya fe na obeka obegya sa ansempa we a oka no na wo ntoro na wo twa no oba respond to wo ntoro no no Ghana fo nim nia onabo Ken Agyapong eye na ne Ken Agyapong eye no ense tokromu senka yesi ye konye di camera kra ko si Ken Agyapong workers eso ni company to company factory to factory so no mo akasa nko be bre no mo ebeka because the Ken Agyapong oye no wote tamela uhunu wote yendia uhunu wote abrochira uhunu ba bia wote bia uhunu die papa no yenti enye ho se wote camera ko si obi aso a wose me de Ken Agyapong ama me nto aba me MPP ni me NDC no so Kennedy badia meto ama no enye ade sa neti enti no ma obi enka se ye di obi akọ first one enti ono na aye popular ono na amanfo enim no yenim wo sesei
okay
yenim wo as wine yenim wo as wine
okay
enu ne asem no nyese yenim wo keke nyese yenim wo keke yenim wo as wine yenim wo se waye den e wo man no yenim wo se
yenim obedi president na ye na waye atoama no
ye hweso atoama no enti se wako Ghana ha nyina na yenim wo Ghana ha nyina enu ntre se ye nto aba ma
okay
ana onabo Ken Agyapong so ebra wo ye se obepe we no o chini Ghana ha nyina wo chini baabi bebre nti ono nso amanfo enim no ana ni nyuma a waye nti no ne ton enye den ukogina wo se wo ye campaign ama onabo Ken Agyapong a enyema bebre na obetumi aka ensem bebre na obetumi aka fa papa no enu na no Bulgaria na be kan se Ken Agyapong ensem bia o kan de untimi fa ye campaign tia no because Ken Agyapong ensem a waka no yewura Bawumia aka bi yewura Jondaman Mahama watisui wake wonso obia woni sinto obia ni wa Ghana ha wose wabedi president da ana obepe president dia oni ni sinto ba ye hwese Ken Agyapong ni sinto ene emwa wode aboa no we ne hwe de hin na carry weight ne hwe o mu aka no emwa o mu de aboa oman no ene o mu sinto no so yenwe enhwe eti sanete sodi nti no ye besere se delegate for no yesremu se de onabo Ken Agyapong ekoba bia a oka no wose osere mo de mo nso no hwe mo no just mo fa we ma no na general election no ye ma no just 4 years the first 4 years no wa mono ho modin a ono kra no o ma biem the first 4 years no so wa mono ho modin a ma mo nto aba e ma ne biem tana oka na I hope say Ken Agyapong minim no o se ye ma no 4 years no 4 years no ye ni ai be prese ye be san de na ye dey aba ndi so di we de ye nka ne tintin bia
we de ye nka ne tintin bia o fa ye da se ye busia de daye ekoso ya eni fitri nyankopon onhyira obi biara Bernard and also Ken new faces for Ken team and Bernard the that say and I think so or say bonsu also that say Francis I asked them what they mood I Francis ye chia baby biara wo obi e kire na adwen what I say e adwentre and obi e kire nti won so betimi de wadwentre aba uni obi enye adwentre a ai we enye ntokwa enye atedidie nti dia won so wo no na won so wa kire wadwen dia wo ba ono dia wahu a oka no eno no nti dia won so nimu a won so betimi onya akono wahwe a obetimi aboa no na won so wa ye den wo dia ba abusua yes we MPP empanifo se ebia mwada ye kan mo se mon sori waka se mwada mon sori waka na mon sori waka na mo amotena ebia mon ketwa nkumai mo se dia mo pe na mo de beba dia ene ene etoje mo a because enei wo bia dia waka kwa bonten me dia me se kwa bonten o de kwa bonten na tie dia Ghana fo ese wo mo epe na toma ai mo toma wo ma ne obi timi ka se wanfa we ama mento aba bisa wo se wan ye se we amfa na ama ye mento aba hwan a wan kasa check na ye wan analysis se wo fie na hundia Ghana fo ese wo mo pe edi no e de shode ene me ne offer ena edi enkomo afenso ye boss and the CEO etia o man baby biara wo etia gem onso etia Richie enso na chinchin fidie yi e ma wonya hwe ye nya na nke ye ntia nti Richard baby biara wo yesue nyankopon e de ma nyankopon hwa pa obi biara wo hwe ye wan wo to de wo comment e ba ye mo amuta akira mo san hwe ye ni so wate o manche no ye kase ye ni so de amoye ma ye pa mo nkoso a na mo subscribe to your channel no na mo like na mo share na fa wo comment e bra e fa ma ye adom ye ya da se ne o chena ye besan e hye bi akom.
I promise this party that I'm going to do a diligent job and make sure we win 2024 election. As a member of parliament for the past 23 years, I have to admit that the challenge of the government and the successive government had been unemployment. And therefore, I've taken it upon myself to make sure I reduce unemployment rate in this country. One person cannot say that he's the most intelligent person on earth, and therefore we should bring everybody on board. If you want to make changes in this country, you should first engage the people, let them know why we need to change, and that will come.